Hey guys, I hope you guys are well. So I'm just going to do a quick book review of part two on the book Rose Rivers by Jacqueline Wilson. So here it is. So here is the blurb for anyone who is interested in reading it. So I'm just gonna say is I do apologize for delaying the part two of the book review for Rose Rivers. I was meant to do it a couple days after part one of the book Rose Rivers by Jacqueline Wilson, but I didn't have time, so I'm just gonna do it now. So one of the pros is Rose meets a character called Miss Wentworth through a ball during her holiday in Scotland for their grandparents, and basically she meets one of the girls, Miss Wentworth, who goes to university, which is the Royal Holloway College, and I feel that was really fascinating. She is a representation of the new woman who essentially kind of break barriers within the patriarchal world slash society, and she essentially inspired both Paris Walker and Rose Rivers' twin brother Rupert as well, because she's also really described to be really pretty as well, with dark red hair, and just like really beautiful. She's meant to described to be stunning. And I thought it was really interesting to see how a lot of the external characters or side characters are more interesting than Rose Rivers herself, but which is not her fault because she hasn't broadened her horizon. She hasn't really went to school for like couldn't go to school. So in the end she does, and I'm really grateful for her, and she's really keen in pursuing her studies. And I think I mentioned this in part one, but I just want to say I feel like her father, um Edward Rivers, seems more proud of Clover Moon achievement than Rose Rivers, because Rose Rivers isn't as talented as Clover Moon in terms of drawing and sketching. And even Paris Walker has mentioned that Clover Moon is more talented than Paris Walker when he was her age. And I just feel like I think Rose Rivers feel really like not upset, but just kind of feel like left out, that she's not hasn't got a knack to do. She hasn't got like talent to do certain things, and even though she likes reading and writing, before she went to try go to boarding school, she didn't have the opportunity to pursue and enhance her creative subjects or her passion, because obviously as Victorian ladies, middle class background, expect to just marry and have a family. So this conservative like Christian views, like, so yeah. So I just really thought that was one thing that I really wanted to say was about the character Miss Wentworth, and she was literally a symbolism new woman who, from if you see from other Victorian literature like Christina Rossetti and The Doll's House, they definitely give symbolism new women. And Christina Rossetti herself, Pussy, I think, was because she was writing really good, amazing literary poetries, and she was a woman during the Victorian times. But obviously, you have to bear in mind that she is of a middle class ish background, but they did unfortunately go into down like poverty later on due to her father's death. Have the mention of the Rossetti will be the pre-Raphaelite painters, because Edward Rivers has really taken inspiration, and it's also mentioned some historical background about it here. Well, let me just show you guys. I'm really hoping that I can get it out. Do apologize. Yeah, so that would be, I have about, where is it? Yes, the pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. So these are Rossetti. One of them is Rossetti's brother, which is Dante Gabriel Rossetti, and they have done a lot of portrait of Rossetti, the pre-Raphaelites, with like red hair, pale skin, and Rossetti was like, they done the portrait based on Christina Rossetti. So there is a lot of like Victorian history elements there, and I really enjoyed it. I personally think Rose Rivers was not as interesting characters compared to the side characters. Like Clover Moon mainly. Honestly, I love her character, and even Miss Wentworth, Paris Walker. I don't really like him, but I do feel like he was more interesting character. And obviously, they have obviously broadened the horizon, which Rose Rivers did admit that she couldn't do, and was very frustrated at the lack of opportunities that she couldn't do it because obviously she was conserved to be in her home, and obviously her dad wanted her to go to school and enroll her to school, but her mum didn't want to. So, and the mum was essentially, a lot of the wealth came from the mum's parents, so it was they were the holder of the purse strings. And obviously also the dad was also feeling frustrated that he wasn't earning a lot for his own paintings as well, and he earns through Sarah Smith's paintings, so by drawing for Sarah Smith's books, sorry. So that is what I want to say today. There were some elements of a lot of like women challenging the patriarchal society, like Clover Moon. She's having lessons with Rose Rivers' fathers and drawing and painting, and hopefully she can make a living out of it, whilst also having a job as a nursery maid. And then Rose Rivers eventually enrolling to boarding school in Scotland, so she doesn't actually live with her family in the end, which will be good for her, because I feel like in a nice way they weren't really giving her what she really needed / wanted. They weren't giving her the opportunities to further enhance herself. So I found certain elements of this book quite inspiring, and I hope when you guys read it you will do so as well. So I'm hoped, and currently now I'm reading, so I'm just trying to think if I mentioned everything else that I need to mention. And Rupert Rivers obviously go back to boarding school. I feel like a lot of the families shown to be obviously narrow-minded, but it's not really their fault. It's expected to join the middle class Victorian family. And I do enjoy the Christmas because Hetty Feather has also appeared in the book, and they had such a lovely Christmas with Hetty Feather, Clover Moon, and Rose Rivers were spending time with each other, and they each had a bangle, but the mum took Clover Moon's one, but she couldn't take Hetty Feather because she had to go back to the founding hospital. But it was really nice to make memories, and I do really like the fact that Rose River was inspired by Hetty Feather, who was, had to endure difficult times in the founding hospital, and also Clover Moon, who, pursuing her talent of drawing / sketching. I think she mentioned here, like, shows some grit like Clover and like Hetty Feather. So she's very much inspired by other girls' hardship and also other girls' success, like Miss Wentworth as well. So they were halfway through the book was really good. The first half wasn't as interesting, but once you continue reading it though, they're pursuing reading it, because the other half was really interesting. The only thing I say is I prefer to read this hardback, even though the words are quite big. Like they're really big, but I want it hardback like this, like the book I'm currently reading, which is Dancing in Charleston. I will definitely do a book review on it once I finish. So this is what I'm currently reading. And I'm also reading Hetty Feather's Christmas. So I haven't finished it. Even though it's a short book, I just haven't had the time to read it. So it just got all the activities here. But I'll show you that in my next book review. But this is what I'm reading, Dancing in Charleston. Hetty Feather appears in this book, which is why I'm reading it. I think this is the last that I will ever know about what happens to Hetty Feather. So, and I had, I don't know if you guys remember, I initially had a short, a smaller paperback book of Dancing in Charleston, but I just switched it to a hardback from the library because it was so much easier to read, because the paperback for this book, the print for the words are so small. It was so hard to read, and it was thicker than this. So, and it was small print. It was so hard to read. This one was easier, so it don't really matter as much. I can usually adjust it, but the print was so small. But this was like so much easier to read. Like, there's on the Somerset, I think, grandma. But like, I'm just showing, like, the front cover is so much easier to read compared to this paperback one. I'm sorry, let me just get it clearer. Ooh. Yeah, there it is. So, recommend this book. I haven't finished it. I'm still reading it. So, I do apologise for the late book review for Rose Rivers. So, these are the two other series that I'm reading for the Hetty Feathers, which is Hetty Feather Christmas and Dancing Charleston. I find it a little bit ironic in reading this because it's not even Christmas or winter season or even autumn season. I'm reading this literally spring/summer, but I like autumn and Christmas vibes. So, and I'm reading this as well. So, and I hope to do a book review for both of these books. But thank you for listening, and I hope to see you guys. Oh, sorry. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye.